Hi. So we've been looking at functions. So let's look more into functions now. Okay. So far we've just looked at a function that just does something, just prints something, and like that. Okay. Now what if you want to send values to functions from here? So you send values to functions, and then it does a calculation and returns the values, stuff like that. So you can do that with your functions as well. So let's create a function that adds two numbers. Okay, that calculates sum of two numbers. So how would you do that? So now let's see how to send the value. So you want to get the two numbers from your function call and then receive it inside this function right here, and then and then do the addition inside of the function, and maybe and then return it back to the function like this. Okay, that's what I want to do. So how would you do that? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to before the function, after the function call, I'm just going to create two numbers like this. Num1 is equal to 6, like this, and let num2, or we can just do it inside of here as well. Num2 is equal to 5, like this. Okay, so and then get rid of all of these things. We don't need this. Okay, and then I'm going to create a function. Okay, I'm going to create a function with the function definition, where the name of the function is sumNum, and inside of this it can accept two parameters which pertain to these two, like this. Okay, but this time I'm going to include two values inside of the parenthesis, okay, to indicate that the function is receiving value with each function call. Okay, so these values inside will now be used to perform calculations or whatever is necessary within the function. So I'll say something like n1, n2, like this. It can be anything. You can receive the function, like you can receive the call as anything. It can be random things as well, just as long as it pertains to the variable declaration rules. Okay, so that's what you have to see. So I'll just say n1, n2, like this. Okay, and inside of here I can create another variable, let's sum, and I can say n1 plus n2. Okay, and then so once I calculate the sum, I need to send it somewhere, right? If it's just here, nothing is going to happen. So if I can either alert sum like this, you have to, so we've given our arguments like this, right? So this is how. So if you want to send this value back, so you can either alert sum like this, or you can do a console.log, or if you want to send it back to the function call, you have to give a return statement. Okay, so a return statement sends a value back from where the function was called. So if I do return sum like this, it will send it back to the function call. Okay, so I used a keyword return with the variable sum like this. So this return statement is used to send the output or the outcome back to the calling statement, to the function call. Okay, there can only be one return statement. So you can only have one return statement within a function, because as soon as you come to this return statement, because as soon as it encounters the return statement, then the function execution is going to stop. Okay, and it's going to come out of it. It's going to go back to the calling statement or the statement after that. So there can be only one return statement, because that's the only one that's going to work. Okay, so and if you have any lines of code after this, like this, these lines of code will not be executed at all, because once the return statement is executed, the function is going to stop working. So it's going to go back to the call. Okay, so these are useless. So there's no use in writing those things. Okay, so now let's go back to the function call. Okay, so we already declared our elements like this and everything. So we have everything ready. Now we just have to call the function. So we have to just call the sumNum function. You already know how to do the function call. You have to give a parenthesis like this and then a semicolon, right? But that's not all we need. We have to send these values. We have to send the values. If you do something, if you do it like this right now, it's not going to work at all, because you're not sending any values back to your function, right? So So, but this time, but what's the use of just, so what you have to do is you have to say, you have to send both of these values, and both of these values are going to be accepted by your function. And, see, but the thing is, so you have to give your parameters inside separated by a comma, right, like this. You've done that before, right? You've done that before in your other parts of JavaScript that we covered. We've done stuff like this, given parameters like this. But there's no use in doing this either, because there is a return statement here. There's no alert here. The output is not shown here. The output is just sent back to this particular statement. Now this statement, if I give this statement inside of my, see, I get the result. So this statement holds the result of JavaScript. So how would I access that? I can do it in a couple of manners. I can do a console.log of the entire thing like this. If I do it like this, see, I get 11, and I can do an alert of this saying some is like this. I can do it like this. If I do it like this, see, I'm going to get an alert that says sum is 11. Or better yet, I can assign it to a variable like this. Okay, and then I can do a console.log if needed of val sum. Okay, so I can do any of those things, and they're all going to work perfect. See, so this is how you can receive values and you can use them in your code. Okay, so you can try this with different values as well. So you can instead of sending num1 and num2, you can directly send numbers in here as well. You can send 4 5 like this, and if you check now, I'm going to get 9, and you can send bigger numbers as well if that's what you want. And I'm going to get, I'm going to get that output. So you can send numbers directly, or one of them could be the variable and the other one could be a number like this. That's gonna work as well. So you can do any of those things. You can send like this. You can send decimal point numbers as well. That's going to work as well. So you can do all of these things in your with your function. So if you noticed, this and this is different, but it does not have to be like that. Okay, just because you created a num1 variable doesn't mean you should not use it here, because this is within the block, right? Within the block you can use num1 again and it won't be a problem. I didn't use it because I wanted you to see that you can use different variables as well. Okay, so you can do it like this as well, and it's still going to work. You're not going to get an error at all. See, it's still working. All right, and you can keep calling the function as well. So we have one, right? So we have a console.log of val sum, right, like this, but you can keep calling the function with different numbers inside as well. So I can just say num1 num2 for 1 like this, and I can copy this and paste this again, and then I can give different values in here. Okay, I can do it again, and I can say, okay, and I can do it again, and I can say, okay, so I can call the function any number of times. Now that's the beauty of your functions. Okay, so you can call the same function multiple times. You can assign it to variables and use it later on. You can call the same thing multiple times, and it's just going to go back to this one block of code. So that's how you save a lot of save lines of code and time. So you just wrote this function one time and you called it multiple times like this. You called it 5 times so far, and it's still working, and it's still getting you outputs, and you're getting all of these outputs right here. So that's how it works. So that's why functions are very important. Okay, so this is a very basic overview of your functions. So let's look more into functions in the next few lessons. I'll see you there. Thank you.